can barely see out of these glasses. Oh, I got sweat on them. That's the problem. I I've been working outside all day. Hey, does it look like it? Am I sunburned? Hey, might be picking up a tan. Who knows? So, hello there, good people. Hi, Jason here with Green Country Agroforestry, or I think that's where I'm at. Coming at you live on another Wednesday evening. Tonight, I got something special to share with you. It's around here behind me somewhere. I've got these crates moved over to act as sort of impromptu tables. Oh, just dirty. Might be a little dirt too. No, I think most of that doesn't rub off. All right. Oh, Kimber. I need to get a hold of you guys, but I'm doing a live stream right now, so I'll call you later. Probably not tonight. But drop in chat about what time Brendan is likely to be home, and I'll call you guys about sometime after he's likely to be home to confirm showing up for you guys' wedding. I don't know if Mary's going to be able to make it. It's a weekend. She might be home. She might not be, but it all depends. But I'll at least come. So just let me know what time he's going to be home. Probably tomorrow, and I'll get a hold of you tomorrow, and you can tell me how to get there and everything. Anyway, hello from South Carolina. This is Grandma Zoom. I'm here in Northeast Oklahoma with the air conditioner blasting and the fans going because it may be May 14th, but it's already it's already getting hot. Okay, give me a second here. I need to get a couple things organized because I ran out of time as I was getting ready to do the show. I got the ducks put away. That's not a problem. Everything's taken care of. And I even grabbed another mulberry on the way from putting up the ducks. This is from the bush on the north side of the house. We just planted that last year, and it's already producing berries. Okay. These guys are just so sweet that I know I shouldn't eat them all, but I have been off of this bush on the north side. They're just so sweet. I can't help it. But I've been saving some too. And of course, I want to be able to save them Hi, Bilbo. I want to be able to save them on through the winter, and be able to enjoy them later on. And of course, that means food dehydrators and stuff like that. Last year, I dehydrated some of our Goumi berries. I showed a picture of what that's a branch from the Goumi berry bush in the front yard in the thumbnail there. Last year, I used this little plastic, with this little round plastic food dehydrators. It's just got the little heating coil at the bottom. There's no fan, and there's 5 or 6 trays in there, and very, very cheap. It probably was made in the 1970s. I picked it up for $5 at a garage sale in the 1990s. But this year, I said, okay, it was so hard to keep up with the fruit with that thing, and it didn't do such a great job. I really did need to get a new dehydrator. Someday I want to have a solar dehydrator, and I'm probably going to have to build it. But in between then and now, I decided, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to dig into the pockets and I'm going to spring for one of these things. And I went ahead and I bought an actual food dehydrator. So tonight we're going to unbox that thing. Woohoo! All right, here we go. This is the thing. Boy, there's the box from the side. Okay. So, this is what they shipped to us. This, of course, is an example of what we're going to be drying in there. We've got these lovely, lovely berries. Let me show you an example of a mulberry from that. This is the mulberry tree that I'm taking all of our red mulberry cuttings from. This is an example of the berries that it makes. All right. So I'm trying to save some of them. Not just going to gobble them all up. Also, of course, we've got strawberries coming in, and of course, I can gobble up strawberries like nobody's business. But again, I'd like to save some for later. And of course, the food dehydrator is going to be a great way to take these guys. Somebody sent me a text message just now. Okay, great way to take these guys and preserve them just in case you don't want to gobble them all fresh, like I am likely to do if I sit there here with this tray of berries in front of me for too long. So let's set this to the side. I'm going to show you another bowl of berries. Hang on. This little bowl of berries is called Goumi. Oh, there's another one of those lovely mulberries. All right, these are called Goumi, and they come from a tree called Elaeagnus multiflora. It's not really a tree; it's more of a shrub. And of course, this is what the berries look like whenever they're ripe. Trying to get the light on the berry so you can see the berry and not the shadow. There we go. Instead of seeing the shadow of my fingers, I'm like, there you go. Try to get actually see the berry. Now, whenever they turn fully ripe like this, they have a nice little jelly-like flesh of the fruit on the inside. Tart and sweet, a bit like a cherry, and there's a little. Trying to hold the seed without escaping. There's just a little tiny seed in the middle of it, and you can eat the seed, but it's kind of woody, and I don't really like it. So there's that. But whenever they dry up, they make wonderful little raisins, and the bush is just loaded with these. These are just some that I stripped off of one single branch, and I pruned it so it would be very bushy with lots and lots of branches. So this is one that was trying to touch the ground, so I stripped the berries off so it wouldn't drag on the ground. Other than that, we're letting them ripen one more day. All right, so tons and tons of these are going to be fed into this food dehydrator. All right, Grandma Zoo is saying food dehydrating is her favorite. She has 4 food dehydrators. Yeah, I was looking at some of the other ones that are available. This thing here, it's got 8 layers in it. The trays are a little bit over a foot by a foot, like 1 foot 6 inches, or one foot and at 12 and a half inches by 12 and a half inches. I'm trying to say this properly. 12.6 by 12.6. The trays are. So you've got about 8 square feet of dehydrator space that you can pack into this thing here. You can get more square feet of dehydrator space, but really going beyond that, and probably Grandma can tell you because she's got 4 dehydrators already, you're getting to the point where you kind of have to go with the commercial models after that. But this one wasn't a commercial model. I think it retails for like $148. I got it on like a 48-hour sale, and it was $100 delivered, 100 and change, which is not bad. Not bad for a price. Now, did I get my money's worth? I don't know. Let's find out. Give me a second here. I just realized I'm getting ready to open up the package and I don't have a knife. Yeah. Why I don't have a knife, I don't know. This is horrible. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pop up a video file here for you for a minute. Yeah, not out of there though. I'm gonna put up a video file for you for just a minute. What is this? Oh my goodness. I guess I could show you here a little clip, and this is just so you won't be looking at dead air while I'm going to grab a knife to open the box with, and I'm going to grab a coffee too while I'm at it because my coffee's in the microwave. And like I said, I was running short of time whenever I realized, oh no, I got to start. So this is from just a couple of weeks back. when I was getting ready to plant corn. I was working the soil with the broad fork, and this is like supplemental footage. I didn't wind up using it, but I think I got a fairly good perspective shot of using the broad fork. So I'll go ahead and let you see that thing while I'm going to get my coffee.
The supplemental footage. There's two good reasons why you should wait to use your flamer until the warmer part of the day. First one, of course, is the grass is still going to be fresh and green, so you want to cut it and let it dry out a little bit before you flame up. The other one, of course, is right here next to the tines of the broadfork. In the early part of the day, whenever there's dew on the soil and moisture, your little earthworms are going to be crawling around taking care of earthworm business, and they're going to be right there at the surface level. So if you're blasting away with the breath of a fiery dragon at that time of day, you're likely to kill off a couple of them. Waiting until midday before you roast up the cover crop that you're planning on top killing, and you'll kill the crop, and hopefully not too many of your workers. Livestock. All right, look at this. Shortly after I open up the soil with the broad fork, you'll begin to see earthworms moving about if it's early enough in the day. And they'll just pick up and move. There's one right there. There's 2 or 3 of them right in there. And they're escaping. All right. I opened up the. There's one right here. Moving across. Oh, he snuck away. He was too quick for me. Maybe you'll be able to zoom in on him with the camera. Just pick up and let it down. And I'm disrupting their habitat a little bit, but not too much. Actually, this is going to make it a lot easier for them to move around and explore new territory, and they're going to enjoy that. The territory these worms are going to be exploring, of course, is all of the dying roots.
Well, that's
of this cover crop,
that's
and then
why we had
after a bit they'll come up.
Okay. Hang on a second here. There we go. All right. So anyway, that's why we edit things. Pretty much while I'm shooting stuff like that, I'm just like, and then we'll pick out the parts that the wind didn't disrupt too badly. Pretty much while I'm out there working in the garden. And I've gotten into this habit now where I do it whether there's a camera on or not. I'm just talking to myself while I'm out there working in the garden, working the broadboard. I'm talking to an audience that isn't there. Yeah, it's great. It's great stuff. Okay. Grandma says stainless Castoria, round Castoria, air element only, fan element only. They all have their purpose. Castoria with heat tips are great for low and slow. It's easy to burn herbs. Yeah, it is. I mainly, most of the time, whenever I'm doing herbs, I just air dry the herbs. I hang them and let them dry. The way the old folks used to do. Although some things, it's easier to. It's easier to get done with the dry, especially if they have a higher moisture content. Berries, obviously, fruits and stuff like that. But this past winter, the ranch store down the road had these dehydrated strawberries in stock, and I still have to look up and see how they made them. Right? Psst. Not for you. That's not for you either. That's coffee. Go on. Shoot. Hang on a second. I love you, Betty, but no, you may not be up there. Go there. Yeah. Okay. While I wasn't watching, apparently she grabbed one of the berries and pulled it out of the bowl. Yeah. Yeah, sliced strawberries thin. Probably a good idea. And probably scoring the Goomies too before starting the dehydration process would probably be good too. But even with that really bad little resistance element dehydrator, I made some decent jerky. Hmm. Alrighty, here we go. We're gonna open this thing up. This is the Septree food dehydrator. They did not pay me to do this. I ain't getting paid for this. I made my decision to buy this product based upon the advertised features and the fact that it was temporarily on sale was certainly a factor. Yeah. All right, we're opening up the box. First impressions. Wow, that's shiny. Okay, I'm looking down. There we go. See all that stainless steel? Yep, it's stainless steel. And they said they made it extra wide and rounded off the edge so that you don't have to worry about accidentally cutting your hands on these things. Let's go ahead and pull them out. You can have a look at them. Yeah, actually, oh yeah, stabbed myself in the back of the cardboard. I actually had a look at the reviews for this, and one of the things they mentioned was that these trays were quite handy, and they do look good from the outside. Now, got to watch out. Sometimes you get stuff that looks shiny and it winds up just being a thin coating. Recently, I had an incident. Well, I'm already healed up, aren't I? Had an incident with a garden implement. One of those nice little forks on one side, hoe on the other side. You hold it in your little hand fork handle. This one has a little telescoping handle. I like the telescoping handle that it had. I might show it off the next time I'm out there in the garden using it and I happen to be on video. I like the fact that it has this telescoping handle that actually locks well. Sometimes those telescoping handles, they don't lock very well. They just kind of they open and close at the least opportune moments. This one actually, it locked open, it locked closed fairly well. Problem was, it had this chromium plating on a retention loop on the back of it. So it had a little, like a little carabiner loop on the back of it, so you could tie it onto a lanyard or something. Why you'd need to, I don't know. Maybe it's so you can like hang it up on a hook in the wall. Although, I mean, most people would turn it sideways and hang it by the head. But anyway, the chrome, I was leaning on it, kind of like that. The hand on the handle of the tool as you're leaning down to look at something, and while I was leaning on, all of a sudden it slipped under my palm a little bit, and the chrome plating slipped off of that loop, and it slashed a hole through the slashed a hole in the palm of my hand. Like, that hurt, and I looked down, and a little chunk of chrome plated metal sticking out of my hand. It was like, ugh. So these, on the other hand, are solid stainless and not plated, so that's a plus. All right, so there are 8 of these trays. That's what they look like. Very very thin. You can load up a lot of berries, a lot of jerky, a lot of stuff on that. Boy, and I'm going to have to move these fruits along quickly because the fruit flies are starting to gather. I know, I grabbed 2 cups of coffee. Dried cabbage and zucchini are lovely, she says. Oh my gosh. Cheesecake misses me, huh? Aww. Is he getting big? He was such a scrawny cat and he had to live in the room. Anyway, I was distracting myself. Last winter, I tried out these dehydrated strawberries, right? And I discovered that they go really, really good with peanuts. And we're planting peanuts, we're growing fruits, we're growing strawberries, and actually it was really good because you take a couple of peanuts and you eat a couple of peanuts and you grab one of those dehydrated strawberries, you pop it all in your mouth, and it's like eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, just no bread. It's great. Anyway, so I figured I've got to be able to make my own, right? Dad always said, if it's smarts, rub it on your head and hope it sinks in. Yeah. Well, I learned my lesson about cheap chrome-plated stuff on tools. Yep. He's still skinny looking. Yeah. Yeah. But he's so affectionate. He's such an affectionate kitty. All right. So, Goumi berries. Food dehydrator. All right. Let's get up here and have a look. We've got these little plastic things that they've always put in boxes to keep the corners from getting smacked on anything. So pluses on the packaging. They took steps to make sure that it made it intact. Good job. Of course, best way to ensure your guarantee program is to do a good job on your manufacturing and shipping, so you don't have to replace anything in the first place, right? All right. Set this thing sideways a bit. Ease it out of the box. Nothing else in the box except for that styrofoam bit on the bottom. And again, more of these plastic corners. These are actually pretty rigid. Yeah, you're not likely to get your package damaged with those things in the box. So, A+ on packaging. Good job. Septree is the brand name. S-E-P-T-R-E. All right. And we've got ourselves a plastic bag here. Put over there for kids to play with. We've got, let's see, the obligatory tape that they put on there to keep it from flying open in transit. All right. Very important. You got your standard type of plug for the wall. You didn't want to have something weird. I believe this appliance is rated to 120 volts. All right. Yeah, decent enough length of cord. Oh, it's got a little handle here. I'll bet it's got one. Yep, it's got another one right here. Have a look. So, look at that. You got a little handle on the side, so you can pick it up and move it easily. That's convenient. Okay. It is stainless steel, but it is thin stainless steel. All the same, seems sturdy enough. There's our door opening up. And we got our little cards here. What are they? Thanks and support for trusting our brand. Blah, 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 blah. Has a net weight of 20.94 pounds. Really? I don't know. It's more like 15. Maybe loaded. Maybe whenever it's got everything in it. Okay. Let's see. What do we got here? We've got, I have no idea what these are. All right, we got some silicone mats. That's good. I think whenever I ordered it, it said it came with 4. Let's see if those are there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And as Grandma said, you use these whenever you're working with small stuff to keep it from falling through, especially your small berries. So, as you can imagine, berries, mat. Yeah, buddy. Hey guys, how are you doing? You seem to be very curious about what's going on here. Shoo. I'm not making cat treats right now. On with you, on with you, on with you. Wow, you have such soft fur, Bill. You have such soft fur. Here, here. Oh, oh, look at these people over here. Look at the cameras right there. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. All right. Oh, soft fur. All right, shoot. Did I mention these things? Really nice thing to include in that box. Shoot, yeah. I wonder how much these cost. I mean, they're not expensive to make. I used to work at a plastic injection molding factory. We would make little stuff like this, you know, easy. But, you know, what we'd sell it for, on the other hand, that's a different story. Okay. Back to work. Let me see here. We got our instruction manual. Ta-da, ta-da. Grandma says, for sealing jars, I use a brake bleeder on my vacuum seal. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wait, what's Kimber saying about plants? Hang on, let me scroll back through comments. Da-da-da-da-da. The mint and lavender are babies. Oh, okay. You're growing peppermint, spearmint, and lavender. Good. Good. And yeah, all that other stuff. Spearmint, you gotta watch. It can do really well for a while, at least around here. And then one year you'll wake up and it'll all die on you. Meanwhile, peppermint's kind of hard to kill. You can kill it, but okay, stainless steel dehydrator, model number DSC-08 Alpha. Let me try that again. Dehydrator, model number Delta Sierra Charlie TAC 08 Alpha. There we go. Yo, sailor's life for me. It's been a while. All right. Hi. Is this your place now? Apparently so. Betty has decided that this is her place now. All right. So we've got, okay, so we have the instruction booklet and then we have a recipe booklet. I imagine the instruction booklet will tell us how to use it. She's got a nice little rose bush that survived the Manfred wildfire and transplanting. So did it stop, that wildfire, did it stop just right across the street from you? It's like, ooh, I'm glad the wind shifted just when it did. All right. Okay, so it's got general instructions on making jerky, roll-ups, pre-treatment of foods. Probably there's something in the pre-treatment bit that I need to pay attention to with the dehydrated strawberries, but there's a recipe book here. There's a recipe book. Okay. So it's going to tell me all about fruits and jerkies, apple, pear, banana chips, banana, orange leather, mixed berry leather, tropical fruit leather, sweet snack wraps, crispy garlic kale, fresh corn chips, Savory vegetable wraps. That says nothing about strawberry specifically in here. Well, isn't that a nice picture? Okay, she says it kind of got half of the fence line. Whew. Yeah, that came close. Very close. They're on an acre lot over there in Manford where they just had wildfires not too long ago. It missed their house, but it destroyed a lot of stuff. Okay. Oh heck yeah. Hawaiian style tuna jerky. We're gonna have to try some of this stuff. All right, so we got recipes to try. We got all this good stuff. I guess the only thing we really have to do is fire it up and see if it actually works, huh? Really? You think I need these for the Goumi berries? Mary was wondering where we were going to put the thing. I think it'll fit on our counter. Hey, we have 2 air fryers, right? We've got a small one that we use for just general everyday stuff, right? Little things. But then we've got a larger one that's just like a full convection oven, really, that we could use to cook a turkey, if you want to cook a turkey. Very useful, actually, for whenever you're doing Thanksgiving dinners and stuff like that on the go. You bring a spare bird and the convection oven, and you can cook a spare bird while everybody's getting everything together. And at least on one occasion, it was the only bird, so it actually. Grandma Zeus says, "Cut the berries." Okay, that's our pro advice: is cut berries. And what about temperature? Because we have we have 2 controls here. We've got a temperature setting, and we've got a timer. Okay, temperature setting, timer, power button. That's it. We have a dial for temp. We got a dial to set time. I'm presuming it's probably going to have a digital display here whenever we get it plugged in. Yeah, cherry tomatoes I did cut in half before, and they were awesome. Yeah. And I just put them in a jar with a lid. No special, other than that no special measure or anything. And for about 10, maybe 12 years, maybe longer, I don't know, it was a while. I just go in and take a few out every year and eat them, and they turned black, but they were still good. They oxidized and turned black, but they were still good, and they tasted like very intensely of tomato. You could take those and dice them up and throw them in your soup and cook them down for your vegetable stock anytime, and they'd be perfect. You were saying this year's more of a test run for playing. Well, yeah, you guys have got a whole acre to play with now, so I guess whenever we come over here, or whenever we come over for you guys' wedding, I'll poke around and see where you have space to plant stuff. Yeah, Mary's saying, you want any trees? I've got some. Actually, I have quite a few. I have quite a few extra red buds. I already have a bunch of established trees with shade. We got a bunch of extra red buds this year. We have lots of red buds and lots of maples. And if they're going straight from the pot into the ground, you could probably get away with transplanting them now. But I've taken them off the website for sale because I don't want to ship dirt. Dirt's heavy. Shipping dirt gets expensive. A couple of neighbors could use new. Yeah, all right. If I had cards, I'd come around and give them a card. That's what I should do. It's like, hi, I see you need some trees. Would you be interested in something for the bees in the early spring? Would you like a thorny hedge to keep the nosy neighbors out? Would you like a nice shady tree to relax under? That'll occasionally give you some nice bits for the fireplace. Or would you prefer something in the lines of a nut tree? Something that you can pass on to your grandchildren and have them building wonderful tree forts in whenever you're in your dotage. What are you into? We've got a little bit of everything. But of course, we don't have them for sale until fall. Pecan trees. And of course, pecans not until next year at the latest, because I have to graft the ones we've got. Yep. Oh, okay. I'm reading what Mary wrote there. I'm reading what Mary wrote in chat. She says, "Yeah, I googled your house." I'm like, "What do you mean you googled my house?" Oh, you googled. My apologies. I'm eating peanuts. I can't help it. They're just sitting right in front of me. Yeah. Okay. Mary googled Kimber's house. Kimber says, "One of the neighbors has been trying to grow stuff. He was struggling, so I told." Well, that's nice. If I get an order out of Manfred, I'll know what happened. Okay. I'm looking around here. I just realized something. If I'm going to plug this thing in, I'm going to need an extension cord. Fortunately, Mary ordered extension cords for us for a while back, so I have extension cords. Ta-da! This is supposed to take place at the great big ugly orange one that we've got attached to our. Oh, it even has a little Velcro strap attached to our little north side window over here. We've been doing a little renovation, remodeling, furniture moving, that sort of thing. Getting ready to remove the bed from the bedroom. Haven't been sleeping in the bedroom for a while. I've actually been sleeping out here. But we've got this nice little spot over here to my left where the stove is, and in between the stove and the kitchen there's a wall, but a fairly wide gap, and there's a wall or a window there, and of course one of the windows, this is a double window, one of the windows we pass the stovepipe through. I'm just going to wave a knife around here. One of the windows we pass the stovepipe through, but the other window has a window air unit. So in the winter, if one wanted to, and we have the futon, so we're going to set up a little futon bed over there. In the winter, you can be right there, close to the stove, where it'll keep you nice and toasty warm, with the wall over there on the far side, so the heat will reflect off that far wall, and you'll stay nice and toasty warm. Even if the only thing you've got is that wood stove to keep you warm. But in the middle of summer, it'd be nice to have the same sort of sleeping area with a little air conditioner, and we've got the little spot for the air conditioner right there. But we've been hooking it up with a ugly old orange extension cord, and Mary got some new indoor extension cords, so I can put that orange one back to work outside. Call me when you will learn a lesson on Magic the Gathering. Oh yeah? I don't know. It depends. Michael's got a fairly decent deck or two. He can probably show you. Boy. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm just going to be awkwardly twisted over here to the side trying to get this thing plugged in for a moment. Okay. All right. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Okay. Yay! All right. Ooh, they having homemade Mexican and drinks. I'm there. Oh darn! I just remembered. But I'm gonna have to be sober enough to come back home and put my ducks away. Okay. Let's plug this thing in and see if it actually powers up. It powers up. That's it. We're done. This is the end of the demonstration. Yay! It works. Okay. Alright, so we got that flashing red thing. Okay, so if we hit the power button, here we go. This is the timer. Okay, cool. It looks like it goes up in increments of 5 seconds. I can get down to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. It'll go up to 190. And it goes in 5-degree increments. So if we're going to do berries, and probably a lot of the stuff we're going to be doing is a lot of fruits and berries, really. Vicky was suggesting 130. So this is 5. I'm presuming that's 5 seconds. We can go up a lot longer. Maybe that's not 5 seconds. Okay, I think that's hours. I think that's 24 hours. I think that's 5 minutes. I think at the first that was a 5-minute timer. Let's see here. I don't think that's a 5-second timer. I think it's a 5-minute timer. All right, and let's see. Does it start now? This is why you have to read the instruction book, right? All right. All right. What's it say? Set the power switch timer on to the off position. Plug the dehydrator into a standard 120 volt outlet. Position the dehydrator at least 12 inches away from any wall during operation. There's a fan on the back side here that's going to blow hot air out, so you don't want that going. Okay. So it is currently operating. Look at that. We've had a minute go by. It's very quiet. I thought I'd hear something. I'm not hearing anything. Then again, okay, I've got the fan next to me turned off. There is an air conditioner over here, and there is an air conditioner over here. But I'm not. Okay, there's a very, 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 very slight hum. Very, very slight hum coming from it. Other than that, very quiet operating. It's not going to wake you up in the middle of the night, I don't think. I don't know. Here, sometimes in the middle of the night, sometimes it gets really, really quiet. If we don't have any appliances going, I might be able to hear it, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be just fine. Put these over to the side. I'm gonna, I guess whenever we get off, and you guys aren't watching, I'm gonna slice these berries. What about the mulberries? Do you think I could those will dry up the way they are, or will I have to? I don't think you can cut a mulberry. I was thinking maybe the mulberries I might get a little bit of sugar and pound it up in the mortar and pestle to powder it, and then sprinkle that, or maybe toss them in the powdered sugar before dehydrating them or something like that. Or I could just buy some powdered sugar somebody else already powdered. Where's the fun in that? Joe's with us. It was a very windy late afternoon. He lost power. Grandma's saying run for 12 hours, run the dehydrator for 12 hours and then check it. Okay. Joe's saying we almost didn't make it. We had the grid. Oh yeah, down for hour and a half. Came back at like 7:45. Nice. Well, at least you got power. At least it came back. All right. It's a little warm. It's a little warm there. Right around where the hinge is. Right around where the hinge, where the front of the glass is, it's a little warm. Here, there's a vent here on the side, so it's a little warm here. It's not too bad on the back. So about just right there at the front of the door is where it's leaking most of the heat. It looks like, but it's not leaking a lot. Oh. By the way, apparently, if you jostle the knobs or dials while it's operating, you can alter the temperature. Probably alter the time too. So yep, okay. So it goes in increments of 5 minutes. And now we're just going to wait and see if we can hear maybe an audible alarm whenever this thing gets done with the 5 minute time. And if it gives me an audible alarm, then that'll be cool. Although, really, if I'm running this for like 12 hours at a time, it's probably not going to be the alarm on the machine that gets my attention. It's probably going to be like I'll set an alarm on my phone or something to be an alert. I use this thing quite a bit for temporary alarms. It's very convenient. Very, 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 very low key alarm. So yeah, don't be counting on the alarm for this, hearing the alarm from this thing going off to let you know that you need to come check that the timer's run its cycle. But as you can see, it's gone ahead and shut down all the way. So it's not consuming any power. So whenever you set the timer, it runs and then it shuts off. Just like that. And then we have our very, very warm stainless steel trays inside. Ta-da! All right. We got a new appliance, by golly. I think that thing will work. It looks like it. Joe's asking, can I use this to dehydrate tomatoes? And yes, definitely you can use them to dehydrate tomatoes. If you look in the replay, whenever the chat replay becomes available, just a couple minutes ago, Vicky was mentioning cutting the tomatoes, particularly cherry tomatoes. This is also the way I've done it before. It works great. You cut the tomatoes in half, and then you put them on there. And if you cut them, then they'll dry out. If you don't cut a cherry tomato, it'll never dry out properly. But cherry tomatoes, you can cut them in half, and you didn't even have to cut them all the way in half. Just as I did butterfly cuts, so I did like cut it in half and then butterfly it, and then you set that out there and let it dehydrate. And they were great. I mean, really good. But yeah, they are comparable in flavor to sun-dried tomatoes, except it's not sun-dried. Yeah. Vicky's saying, in the summer heat, it's good to be at the bottom of the ravine where it's 10 degrees cooler than the ridgetop. Yeah, it is. Or it's good to be able to get down there if you have to. You don't want to be stuck in the bottom of the holler, but being able to get down there when you want to. All right. Oh. Right? Don't try habaneros in the house or the shed or the camper. Trust me. Yeah, whenever I'm doing the fermented pepper sauce whenever I'm preparing that. A certain portion of the preparation is done outside, and the preparation work that is done inside is done on a day whenever there's nobody else that's going to be around, because the house will need to be well ventilated and evacuated for a little while. Those fermented peppers, whenever you start blending them, and then cooking them down, the air gets thick. Are you saying they liked the powdered cayenne? You say you put powdered cayenne up on the planter and they abused it anyway? I just wound up having to lock the cats out of the room where seedling starts and cuttings are being grown in. At least while the seedling starts and cuttings are being grown, I guess they can go back in after the fact. But while the stuff's growing, the cats can't be in there. They demolish too many things. They'll come across the pot that has our aloe growing in it. We have a couple rather large planters with aloe, trying to get them to make pups and stuff. And the cat will just jump in that, and roll around in it, and dig up and take care of business and stuff like that. They can destroy an aloe. Orange slices and apple. See, I hadn't thought about dehydrating orange slices, but dehydrate orange peel, right? Oh man, this is crazy stuff about oranges, right? You think about this. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago, you'd have the British sending ships all over the world for spices, and they go to places where they grew oranges, but they didn't bring back oranges because the oranges wouldn't survive the trip. But they brought back dried orange peel. And so if you wanted to have the flavoring of an orange, you can take a piece of dried orange peel. Is this one I've already worked on? Sometimes I've got one that this is one I've been working with. You take a dried orange peel, and then you either take serrations there, something with serrations to grate and scrape it, or if you have a sharp enough blade, you can use the edge and shave that very finely shave that upper layer of flesh or skin off the peel. And of course what you get is this dust or powder with a wonderful orange aroma, and it will impart the flavor of oranges to your cooking. Just add sugar and you have orange flavored whatever, and you got the flavoring from the peel. This is what they used to have to use for seasoning, because there was no way you were going to get the orange, but you got the zest of the orange. So you have citrus zest. Fermented tea, so it could survive the trip. Citrus zest. Shoot, they'll send you the seed of the cashew fruit, but they won't send you the cashew fruit itself. It won't survive the trip. Vicky's saying watercress should be ready for me. I'm not going to be ready for the watercress, I don't think. There's some good advice right there. It says don't powder anything until you're ready to use it. It'll clump up. Yeah, be careful with habaneros, cayennes too. I used a heater element for drying cayennes, and they got a little spicy around them too. You walk by and go, ooh, okay, my eyes are burning. My eyes is burning. dry till crispy. Yep. So I do that with the like with the mint leaves and stuff like that. Right now, all I do is I just hang them from a shelf in the kitchen. There's one of those wire pantry shelves in the kitchen, and it's got the little wire thing, little wire edge at the top. So I just slip a stem. Slip a stem. Yeah, Tim. I'm gonna slip a stem. Slip the stem in and weave it through, and it'll just hold itself in place there. Joe is asking, is that how the orange pico black tea start? Yeah, all black tea is tea that's been fermented to keep it from spoiling. Like a lot of times, whenever you make sauerkraut or kimchi, or a lot of foods, also with peppers. Whenever you're fermenting peppers, you're fermenting the food so that it won't spoil further. Well, they do the same thing with tea. Tea is green. The Camellia sinensis leaf is green whenever it's cut. But they had to treat it and cause it to ferment so that it wouldn't spoil on the way from China to England. And so the tea that's us Westerners have grown accustomed to drinking is actually a preserved tea, preserved that way because back in that day it was the only way you could get it. But now, of course, we can have green tea shipped. It's going to be to you within a week or two from the time it was cut, even if you've got a good brand, know where to shop and stuff like that. Refrigeration also helps to keep your tea fresh. I always keep my green tea in the refrigerator or in the freezer, actually. So, gotta have your pinky out whenever you're sipping, right? Yep. Other artifacts of our colonial days, or the days back whenever they had to ship things around in wooden ships with sails. The Imperial Ale, the Imperial Pale Ale, or IPA, is an ale. It's a beer that's had extra hops added after the brewing process is done. So usually they put hops in whenever they're boiling the wort. W-O-R-T. W-O-R-T is what they call the wort. That's the mass of barley and fermented barley, of course, or barley. Before you ferment, the barley you're going to ferment. When you bring it up to boil, you're sterilizing it, and then you're adding in hops, and then the hops have the acid leached out of them during the boiling process. And sometimes there's 2 boils. Just depends upon your recipe, but that gives you the initial acid that's in the beer, and the purpose of that acid from the hops in the beer is to prevent bacteria from growing, because you have a lot of nutrients bacteria will be able to grow on from all those sugars that have been released, but you want the yeast to grow on those and not bacteria. So by creating an environment with a low pH, it encourages more yeast growth and less bacteria growth. So that's why the hops is in there. Of course, back in the day, whenever they were shipping kegs of beer on a ship long distances, long term, a lot of times people, when you made beer, you would make it and then people would drink it. I mean, that's the way it went. You made the beer, you drank the beer, you make more beer, you drink the beer, and it wasn't supposed to be stored for long periods of time. That was just keeping it until you got around to drinking it. But for these long voyages, you wanted to have long-term preservation, and so in order to prevent spoilage of beer, kegs of beer, during long voyages, they would add additional hops. Like, we've been at sea for a month, put another handful of hops in the keg. We've been at sea for 2 months, here's another handful of hops in the keg. Been at sea for 3 months, put a handful of hops in the keg. And by the time you get over here to the Americas, whenever you draw beer from that keg that was originally brewed in England and has the king's stamp on it, but it's been shipped over here with hops added a handful at a time to keep the freshness up, what you've now got is an Imperial Pale Ale, and it's been dry hopped with those extra hops added, and it has that very distinctive bitter flavor that is very, very American in its nature, simply because of the way it is. Anyway, food chemistry, preservation of food, lovely topic. Of course, I love stuff that can preserve itself without a whole lot of fuss. You know, beans, squashes, not the summer squash, but winter squashes. Um, gourds. Well, gourds really you don't preserve them as food. They're whenever you preserve them, they're more for making containers out of it and stuff. Like this thing. Like this little devil right here. Mary's saying dry hop. Pain aid. Yeah, it is. The lupulin in hops, especially when combined with small amounts of alcohol, does have a distinct pain relieving effect. Problem is, too much pain reliever gets you drunk. And of course, it goes straight to the middle too. So, I don't know. Maybe it'd be better as a tincture of hops instead of beer, possibly. Just possibly. Okay, I need to quit eating these peanuts. Well, there we go. That is the Sep Tree Food Dehydrator, 8 trays. Got it on Amazon. $148. Although I did get a good deal. Very easy to operate. If you press the button, just like that, it's going. You could, while it's going, change the time. You can change the temperature while it's still going. You don't have to put it in this when the light's flashing. That's set mode. I think it's set mode. No, it's not set mode. That's start. Okay. Oh, look. There you go. Oh. 70 degrees Fahrenheit for 5 minutes. Ooh. I wonder what happens if you open the door. Oh, I can hear it running now. The fan is still running whenever it's in this mode. Should turn itself off automatically here in just a second there. All right. Well, there we go. Vicky said, I found a few varieties of tea that are hardy in my area. I am, but I have no place to put them. I have absolutely no place to put a tea bush right now. Once upon a time, I was planning on having a row of camellia on the front, but I've since changed my plans. I might go back to that plan at some point in the future. So when you say you found a few varieties, are they a few varieties that you know where to get them, or is it a few varieties that you have? There you go. Yep. It shut off. In any case, maybe someday, but not right now. The last time I tried to grow them, it was just they didn't like it here, and part of it may have been the cultivar, but I think a lot of it had to do with the quality of our soil, and we've been working on improving the soil. Maybe 5 more years, about 5 years. I think in 5 years, probably the soil will be at a point where, and also the shade from the pecan will be at the point where it'll be nice, hopefully, and we can give it another shot. But not right now. Gonna run a few more seasons of daikon radish in there. Probably the next couple of days, I'll take the camera out there and show you what I'm doing in the front yard. previously, whenever I did the water for every garden method, I did it in the front yard, but I only did like one shovel wide. So I went around and have this one shovel wide, maybe about 2 foot deep strip that I filled in, and then you had the wood chip, the walkway, the proper width at the top, but it wasn't dug out all the way across. So because I didn't have any place to put all the dirt that would come out of the trench, because once you get past the topsoil, which wasn't very thick, we've got a sandbank, a gravel bed, or a clay pit, depending upon where you're at on the property. It's either a sandbar, a gravel pit, or a gravel bed, or a clay pit, and sometimes a combination of all three at the same time, which is concrete. I mean, literally, it's like it gets pretty gnarly. And so I'm digging through that and pulling it out, and I'm moving it to the backyard where the duck pond is. Today, I spent the day hauling cement blocks back there to kind of crib around where we're going to build up. And we're going to go ahead and build up that entire area by 16 inches, elevate the pond another little bit, so we can get a little bit more head pressure out of it. POWs can spread dirt, so can you. Do you want me to like make little cheaters and put them in my pants with little pull strings in my trousers so I can like walk along and just and then kick the dirt in with my shoe? Yeah, I saw the Magnificent Seven. I know how it was done. In any case, all right. So I'm using the construction of the duck pond area as a place to get rid of all of this sand. Mainly is what I'm pulling out right now. And it's like really fine sand, really fine sand, like a piece of sandstone just sort of is coming apart under your feet, or maybe it's turning into a piece of sandstone. I don't know which, but that's what we've got. It's like hard compacted sand. Drains really well. I mean, you know, I sat out there watching it because we've got this trench in the front yard right now. So I was out there watching it while we had a thunderstorm a couple of weeks ago, and you can see the water going into the trench, and it filled the trench up. And as soon as it quit raining, within half an hour, water's gone. It's drained out. All of it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Sand doesn't hold on to water for anything. So we'll be able to have a look at kind of what's going on with the excavation. This time we're actually digging it all the way across, 3 foot across, and at least 2 foot in deep. In deep, yeah, I talk really well. At least 2 foot in depth. Oh yeah, I've already got peanuts planted. I'll probably go around and plant some more. It makes a really great annual ground cover. That, and you can eat the peanuts. That's the other reason. You really don't want to go more than 3 foot. And the reason you don't want to go more than 3 foot down is if you go more than 3 foot down, you can create a situation you can't get down to the bottom of your trench. And so you've got organic matter that needs to decompose, but oxygen can't reach it. And if oxygen can't reach it, then it'll be decomposing anaerobically, and plant toxins and stuff like that. Mary is saying, no, potatoes love sand. They love sand that's been loosened up. They don't like hard compacted sand. We have hard compacted sand. You have to decompact it, and then the potatoes might love it. They can get used to our weather. Yeah, Wisconsin in the summer grows potatoes. Yeah, you can get away with it in Wisconsin. It's very mild summers in Wisconsin. And then Florida grows them in the winter. Yeah. We could probably, maybe with cold frames, possibly with cold frames, grow potatoes in the winter. Part of my front yard design is sort of involves, at a future point, having cold frames that will go along on the outside of each one of those walkways. So we have an inner and an outer area connected to the walkway, And I figure we could probably get. Tiger, the yellow cat. I'm gonna bite him. Yeah. Anyway, we have room for about maybe 14 or 15 cold frames all around the front yard area. And so if we start putting them down, like as we go transition from the heat of summer towards fall and start putting those down, and put down like 1 or 2 per week with all your salad greens and stuff like that, you can effectively go through an entire winter and just go harvest out of the cold frames in the front yard and have all your veggies fresh from the cold frames. Well, maybe not all your veggies fresh, but a fair supply of fresh veggies. Mary is asking where everybody went. I think everybody went to bed. It's about 9:46 in the evening here. Can't you tell? My eyes are getting all yeah. It's about time for me to head off too. Anyway, there we go. Food dehydrator. I gotta go clear off space on the counter to put this. Probably where our big air fryer is. It takes up about the same amount of space as that big air fryer, the one that we do our Thanksgiving turkey in. So there we go. Mary said she cleaned out some room in the cabinets under the kitchen counters, so we'll have a place to put the air fryer for our turkey whenever. Oh my gosh, the bugs are going to get into it. Gonna have to do something to keep them from getting into it whenever it's packed away. Old house. They come in from up underneath the floor. Yeah, it's horrible. Right about the time it starts getting cold outside, you start seeing critters trying to come in. Well, thank you, Vicky. I hope it works for me too. I sure hope it works. It seems like it'll do a good job. Wish me luck. Yay! Mary says that thing won't fit anywhere. It's not, Mary. It's not that big. Okay, it may be a little on the tall side. The cabinets. You won't be able to open up the cabinets. You won't be able to open up the cabinets while it's on the counter, will you? Well, you know, that cabinet over there, I almost never open that thing up anyway. Yeah. But okay, so it's a little bit longer than it is wide. There we go. But since it's going to be sitting in front of the cabinet, yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, the air fryer. We'll just put it where the air fryer is. Not the little air fryer, where the big air fryer is. Oh, you think the air fryer won't fit anywhere? Oh, yeah. Maybe. Last year, I just put it out on the porch. I put it out on the porch. And they're like, it'll be fine. Porch is covered. It's just we have a small house and there's not a lot of room. We're clearing up space. And what is this? Oh, this is the. This is the remote control for that solar light, solar powered light. It still works. All right. Yeah, I've got it. We have an auxiliary solar powered light to light up the living room. Betty, what are you doing? Oh, I see. You found this. This is actually not a toy. Would you like a toy? I have a toy for you. Where's a toy? Where's a toy? I've got a toy for you. Where am I gonna put it? I have a very nice toy for you. Where is that very nice toy? Let's see. Now, Kimber, if you're watching, you'll have to ask Mary about this. Oh, Bilbo's sitting over here just waiting for it. Okay. He's just sitting over here waiting patiently for me to turn the toy on. This is how you know that you found a toy that your cats like, if they'll just sit there and, like, even whenever it's not running, they just watch it. Now we've got, somewhere around here, we've got a motorized ball. Oh yeah, they know what's coming. Somewhere around here, we got a little motorized ball. It's got a little USB charger. I mean, it's cute as all get out. It can't, okay. We got two of them, and it's called rolling ball. There we go. That's what it looks like. It comes in a little box like this. I don't know where the blue one is at all. It's disappeared 2 days ago, and I don't know. It could be actually it could be under this desk. And they really like that one. They really do. But this thing, for some weird reason, is just, yeah, they like this thing. All right, so this little cat robot. Got a little power button here. I'm gonna push it, and it's gonna get weird. All right. So it's got a little arm that swings back and forth with a little feather thing on it, right? And the top, in this mode anyway, the top spins in like this little flutter thing. But you can turn it so that it doesn't do the flutter, and then you just have the little arm moving back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I'm just gonna like over here. There's a feline on my chair now. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna put this down. You guys can play with it. There you go. You've been patient. There you go. You guys have a good evening. They've been waiting for their entertainment so patiently. Yeah. That little thing, for some reason, they just go nuts about it, and they will be obsessed with that until the battery runs down. Yeah. The ball, they'll obsess over it until it rolls into a corner and they lose it. But sometimes Bill will grab that motorized ball and he'll bring it over and he'll drop it. I'll be sitting here in the chair, and Bill will come over with the ball and he will drop it right there on the floor behind me, like, make it work. And then you just have to pick it up, press the button to turn it on, and it'll take off and run around, and they'll chase the ball. It's great fun. They love it. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Kimber, Brendan, I look forward to seeing you very soon. Oh my gosh, my eyes are going to just sleepy close on you. I'm going to head off to bed. As always, if you found the video informative or entertaining, if you did, you know what to do. I'll catch you next time. Till then, get out there, get growing, and hey, get dehydrating. What do you say?